Hi guys, and welcome back to the Bachelor Day, where today we are talking about cooking in advance for Christmas. And it may only be the end of November, beginning of December, but this is a great time to get organised and get some of those dishes that you're going to have on Christmas Day or around about Christmas Day in your freezer. So on the Bachelor Day, I'm always showing you how to cook in advance for your freezer and use it whenever you want, and this is no exception. And today we're talking about carrots and parsnips, okay? So if you can see here, exactly what I've done is I have got about 10 parsnips, and I've peeled them and cut them into little slices. And the slices look like this. They look a bit like chips, okay? And then here I have got some goose fat from Sainsbury's. So if you've watched my roast potato recipe, this is basically almost exactly the same, okay? So my goose fat. Now, I also want to salt and pepper these, and these are getting salt and peppered before they go in the freezer. So I've done that one, but just before we, let me just quickly finish this. So we cut our parsnips, we parboiled them, which means we boiled them for about 10 minutes. So they are not soggy, you know, they're just beginning to soften. So they need to be parboiled or they'll probably go a funny colour in your freezer. Okay, and in here we've obviously got our goose fat. And what you want to do is once they're parboiled, you want to dry them off in the pan a bit so that the pan's quite dry, they're not watery. And then you are just going to lay them in this goose fat. And the goose fat is just straight from the jar, but it's at sort of room temperature, slightly warmer than room temperature. I just left it beside the cooker, and it sort of melted. And you want to make sure that these are all sort of singular. You're going to freeze them on their own, like this in trays, just for a couple of hours, and then you'll be able to put them into Ziploc bags. But what it means is if they're not in one big lump, one, the oil stays around them better, so they roast a lot better, and two, they if you want to take some out for a supper party before Christmas Day, then you can do that as well. So we just want to salt and pepper everything. And I don't know if I told you that on your roast potatoes. So make sure you salt and pepper them. You can do it before they go in the freezer. So that is our parsnips done. Now when they come out of the freezer, I'll put them on their baking tray. You can add a little bit more oil if you want, but really you won't need very much. And I'm actually going to keep this goose fat once I'm finished with it, but I'm just going to put it in a jar because I'll use it again. It might go a bit on the tray, and they're already parboiled. They're not going to take long to roast, 20 minutes or so. So look out for them browning. You want to turn them a few times. I love to also put honey on the top of them, and also if you've got, this is rosemary, which I'd use for the roast potatoes, but I often put sprigs of thyme. Is always very nice with this. With parsnips, or even some sort of cumin. Now I'm just going to move these out the way and show you what we're going to do next, because next we've got, let me grab my tray, the exact same thing with the carrots. So these carrots have been parboiled. I buy these ones, so the tiny little mini baby carrots, because I think they're really cute. And I like to leave the top on. A lot of people don't, but I like to cut it off once it's on the plate. I think it looks quite nice. So just, you can be a bit more rough with the carrots because they're not going to all fall apart on you. In case you wonder what I'm doing with my finger here, I've burnt it, so I've got a little bit of ice that I just have to keep rubbing it on. So mix them around. Now, you could leave them for a bit if you want. And these little ones I actually peeled, because when you're roasting, peeling works a bit better because it allows, if there's no skin on them, then they actually will soak all the fat up. And it's the best way of getting a roast carrot that is rounded, all rounded. These are delicious for Christmas, guys. My whole Christmas week, I'm talking about different things, from cranberry sauce, when to do your turkey. You can do nearly all of your Christmas dinner in advance, okay, just ready. And then the good thing is, if you've got a small oven, you've already done some of it, and you've done some of this work. Today, this is a bit messy job, you know, I've just spilt some oil on the floor, I'm going to have to mop up. I don't mind doing it. It's a Monday morning, the kids are at school. It's mid-November. I'm quite happy. I don't want to do it 2 days before Christmas when I have a family and guests arriving and everything. So there we go. Roast carrots, roast parsnips, all ready in November, going in my freezer. They're then going to be put into bags and sealed and labelled and ready to come out for Christmas Day. Please subscribe, give me a big thumbs up if you want to see any more, and hopefully my burnt finger will be better when I come back with the next recipe. Thank you. Bye.